What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods, and we will be tackling UFC on ABC 2. Two. That's the second time they're on ABC, but it's not UFC Vegas. It's not a UFC pay-per-view, so it doesn't get a number, doesn't get a Vegas. I don't know. But I have former U of MMA champion Pius Lobo, better known as Voodoo
Sure. Sure. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. There's a lot of if you like things of kicking and punching and slamming and all that jazz, like this is your jam. This is your week because this is WrestleMania week. This is ABC. Wait, UFC on ABC 2. There's Bloodsport just happened last night and a whole litany of game changer deal. We've had 2 nights of takeover. The WWE 2020 and 2021 class of Hall of Fame inductions happen. So if you like shit that happens in a cage or a ring, this is your fucking jam, man. This is Christmas come early.
That's right. I mean, I just found out not too long ago that WrestleMania is now 2 days. I never knew it was happening like that. Last time I checked, it was a Sunday.
Yep.
So now
100%.
they're going up against the UFC, which is fantastic. I love it. I love the competition.
And it's a cross-pollination. I mentioned the aforementioned Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, and a hearty congratulations to our friend Blake Bulletproof Troop, who made his debut for the audience of Bloodsport by way of doing commentary. Now, obviously, he is a commentator for the United Wrestling Network's Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and a litany of other shows, but that's a whole new deal with Bloodsport. So hearty congratulations there. We saw Josh Barnett versus John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, former AEW and WWE champion. They beat the shit out of each other. So if you like blood and fucking guts, that shit is for you. So you can catch that on the Fight TV app, FITE app, for I believe it's like $20, but it's a $20 well spent. If you've got it, it's pizza money. You'll be glad you did. And again, especially if you like fucking grappling and shit like that. This is like, it was grappling. The first fucking deal that we had was Kaz, who's a Cobrina black belt, right? Against Janae Kai, who's a Taekwondo black belt. So it was a striking black belt versus a jiu-jitsu black belt. And they just beat the shit out of each other, which again, if you like that stuff, it's for you. So couldn't recommend it highly enough. And Shaman Steve says, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Shaman Steve. Hope you're well.
What's up, Shaman?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's up, Shaman
and then also on NXT TakeOver, none other than former Bellator and UFC commentator Jimmy Smith. Yes, Jimmy Smith made his WWE debut on the pre-show he joined with Sam Roberts and Mickey James. So I love it. He's kind of, they kind of worked with Mauro Ranallo for a while until, the mental stuff just kind of, had him and everything like that. So much love to Mauro Ranallo, who he's on the air right now on Showtime doing Bellator, rightfully so. But it's just cool because I'm a guy who gets shit on by like, oh, you like wrestling. Oh, you like MMA. I don't like all this shit together. No, you're getting that shit. You're getting that shit no lube. We're seeing, combat sports podcasts go on wrestling YouTube channels and shit like that. All power to it. I love it all. Do it, whatever, but just don't shit on it. You could like AEW. You could like WWE. You could like Bellator. One championship. Fuck, there was a one championship where fucking Eddie Alvarez got DQ'd and Mighty Mouse got KO'd. Like this is where we live. This is what we're doing now.
Yeah, most definitely. You mentioned Smith earlier. It's good to see that Smith has found another platform, man, to work on because he is a legitimate talent. and for him not to have a base or a home base, that wasn't settling too well with me. So it's good that the NXT has picked him up because he knows his job and he's a skilled individual. So I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And it made my day. I cried, and my wife looked over at me and like, "Why are you crying? Who's Jimmy Smith?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know that." And then also, before we get into this UFC on ABC card, holy shit! Look at what PFL's doing. Just announced earlier, we get in the $1 million tournament. I think it's welterweight.
Mm-hmm.
Rory McDonald,
Yeah.
former Bellator champ, against fucking Curtis Melinder.
Yeah.
What a oh, fuck yeah, man. And you can get that on the ESPN app. Again, if you're a Combat Sports fan, there isn't a better time. There isn't a better time. There's everybody everywhere is doing something, and you can watch it, pulling it up on an app on your phone, on your TV, your smart TV, on YouTube. It's just amazing. So go ahead and support all of the promotions, because you'll be glad. You'll be glad. If you like this shit, you'll be glad. I'm so glad.
And the fact that you're talking about all of these promotions is a testament to the fact that things are beginning to look up again. Like people are getting out there again. They're doing more shows. Before, only the wealthy could do shows, like the UFC. At one point, the UFC was the only show in town.
Yep.
Fight Island. Remember that?
Yep.
Remember that? Just a few months ago. The UFC was the only show in town, and then slowly basketball crept back in there. Baseball crept back in there. Wrestling is back. WWE's back. Traditional wrestling is back. All that stuff is slowly coming back. I love it. ONE FC is back, like you said. I enjoy watching ONE FC, man. Bellator putting out a very good product lately. I love what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and hopefully, the fighters, all of them, they got better pay because, gosh, the Venom deal. Anywho, not to put a damper on things, we'll get into the card. We have 8-1 Impa Connects. Oh shit, Deb, you know what I need, Voodoo. You know what I need. You know what I need. I need the 4-name pronunciation classes by Voodoo for one easy payment of $9.99.99 or 4 easy payments of $4.99.99. You too can sound like a laureate. The way that my colleague, I'm his colleague because I can't hold a candle to him, but the linguistic, the educator, the fighter. So I'm gonna let you take this. What's Impa's last name?
Hey, this fella is Impa Kasangane.
Mm-hmm.
He's an American, I guess, African American, going up against Sasha Palatnikov. Where is Sasha from anyway? It looks interesting. What is that flag?
Place with the flowers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What
is that?
I don't know. It sounds like the
it says born in Hong Kong.
Oh damn!
Right on. Born in Hong Kong. Interesting.
I don't know. I saw the flower and automatically my head went, "Love lift us up where we belong." You don't come here for my singing, and if you do, God help you. Good Lord. The eagles fly on the mountain high.
Speaking of Colorado. Now, speaking of Impa, the last time we saw him, he took a terrible turning back kick to the face.
Yep.
And so many memes were created in his honor. Yeah. So many memes were created in his honor. He is forever immortalized for being destroyed. But up until that point, he was undefeated at 7-0. I mean, at 8-0. Now he's back after a couple of months. At least he took at least 6 months off, right? Would you agree?
I would say, I mean, yeah, he got KO'd, but I think the stink of having this being your lasting effect. I think that
yeah.
was it.
Yeah. Hey, that KO was so devastating. It was replicated in one of those Mortal Kombat moves. But Impa, he's back. Nonetheless, he's back, and he's going up against Sasha Palatnikov. Palatnikov. Interesting fella. Interesting fella. He's 6-2. He is a dynamic striker, according to his record. A dynamic striker. Ways of wins has been KO, KO, TKO, strikes, punches, right cross, ground and pound. So you have an idea of what you're going to see, right? How has he lost? He's lost to strikes as well. So live by the sword, die by the sword is the feeling that I'm getting about this guy. No decision wins. I mean, actually, unanimous decision wins, yes, but no submission wins is what I meant to say. So he might be limited a bit, right? Let's just keep that in mind. Now we have Impa who last lost to, like you said, Joaquin Buckley. But that turning, wow, what a traumatic event. But he has, what I remember about him when he first came in through the Contender Series was he has very good grappling, very, very, very good grappling. He does have a submission, a rear naked choke submission. He can knock you out with his hands. He's got grappling. The other fella doesn't really have grappling. Sasha, you can't really bet against grappling, but on the same token, he did go up against Joaquin Buckley, who isn't really known for grappling. He was a striker, and he was able to land a devastating blow. So I kind of feel that Impa is still affected by it, and until he proves me different or proves me wrong, I will continue to pick against him because that was a very traumatic event that he went through. Sasha should win this one, if not by split decision, by KO at some point.
Damn. Okay. I'm just gonna say Impa. Because if not for the fucking Joaquin Buckley, and it's not like Joaquin built on anything, we figure that he's more of an asshole than he is a superstar. So I'm going with Impa to kind of right the wrong of a fight gone by. So let's do that, and hopefully he KOs Sasha. And nothing against Sasha, but it would be cool poetic justice that he KOs Sasha in spectacular fashion and makes a meme out of Sasha.
Wouldn't that be something, right?
That'd be great. That'd be great, And it's those stories that that make this sport just absolutely fun.
Straight up.
But here is a case of Jung, not fun, but Jung. I'm not saying that Jung isn't fun, but Da Jung, 13-2-1, is fighting William Knight, 9-1. Oh my God. So my deal is hopefully Jung has some submissions in his deal. Oh, it seems like he's got one. He did a standing guillotine to Karis Ibraganov back in 2019, right? But all the other deals, it's been KOs decisions, right?
Yep.
Now, I believe that you're going to need all of that submission prowess because William Knight, fuck, man, if you just and not saying that the Nightmare is a big sloppy heavyweight. I'm not saying that, but if your type of heavyweight is like Yoran De Castro or not Curtis Blades, but Derek Lewis, or back in Bellator when they had the tournaments of Eric Prindle and Ron Sparks, these big bulky heavyweights that just beat the shit out of everything, then William Knight is your guy. And William Knight does what William Knight does. And I was kind of future booking it. Like, I actually would love to see him against Tai Tuivasa. Well, it's okay. Well, Knight is a 205er, so that wouldn't happen. But even in that, like, as a light heavyweight, he reminds me of a heavyweight. The power that he has. So I mean, it's gonna be Knight KO unless Jung essentially gets him in some kind of ronky submission.
Mm. This here, boxing is gonna play the key point in this particular one, unless Mr. Knight wishes to initiate some wrestling. But I'm looking at his record. Doesn't look like he wrestles very often. Back in the amateurs, he did get one key lock submission, but all I see is devastation. You know what I mean? I see he has laid waste to the land. Second round knockout, first round knockout, second round knockout, first round knockout, first round knockout, rear naked choke. Very rare that he submits people. So knockout, 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 ground and pound. Ground and pound means he hit him so hard he dropped, then he went down there and he smashed him. I don't see Mr. Knight taking anyone down. I don't see him just by his body of work. He seems to have a knack for finding the chin, and I believe he's going to believe in that, and he's going to follow through on that. Don Unjung, on the other hand, young man of 27 years old, he seems to be doing something right. He seems to have figured out his thing. His second and third fight as a professional were losses back in 2015, and he seems to be on a 12-fight win streak. Even though I will say that he's fought mostly Japanese and Korean opponents. Well, here he fought Almeida. I guess that's a Brazilian, Peterson Almeida. But primarily, there's a Kalilov here, a Russian. But primarily, what he has seen has only been Asians, right? But when he did step into the UFC, he faced Khadis Ibrahimov, and he also faced Mike Rodriguez, in which he finished Mike Rodriguez, if you remember that. So I am going to double down, and I'm picking this fella, Jun Da-un, to win this one. Now, he's not going to go for the knockout. If he wants to survive and win this match, he has to be technical. He has to use his boxing. He's 6'4". 6'4". His front kicks, especially his front kicks, should be at play here. His reach, his ones and twos, the straight shot should be at play here. Occasional hooks. Well, we're not looking for hooks. We're looking to tag him from outside, make him come inside, hit the angle, and then do more work. Throw some knees. You know what I mean? If he even dares to go for that takedown, initiate some knees. So I believe this kid's got the boxing. This South Korean kid has got the boxing to go in there and do what he has to do to win by at least split decision. But I see him winning by unanimous.
I like it. William Knight KO. That's what I'm going to say. William Knight KO. This is I've had a precedent. So I'm like, oh no, maybe it won't happen of picking these big fucking guys or whatever. And then maybe they won't KO the motherfucker in 30 seconds. Maybe their opponent of the night will figure out a way. And nope, every fucking time I pick against one of these power punchers in the 205 and heavyweight division, I'm on my ass. So no, fuck it. William Knight all the way. Choo choo, the fucking nightmare train. Good Lord. Let's do that. Yeah.
Hey, that should be an interesting one, though. It should be interesting one. Actually, while we're at it, that will be my first candidate for fight of the night.
Ooh, nice.
Da Eun-jung, yes, just because of their body of work, man. I mean, on one end, it's all knockouts, no later than the second round, and on the other side, also knockouts. 2 wins by unanimous decision. This is what we want, right? When two alphas like this clash, it's gonna make for very good TV. So this is my first candidate for possible fight of the night.
I like it. So in the featherweight division, we have Jordan, the native Psycho Griffith, 18-8, going against Luis Saldana, and who's 14-6. Now, we know the perpetual threat that Jordan, the native Psycho, is, right? We might not know Luis Saldana, but one thing when you look at his topology that is absolutely that stands out hand and shoulders above the rest. Now, yeah, he's got rear naked chokes, he's got KOs and everything like that. But back, let me go into the Wayback Machine. In 2018, May 18th of 2018, he beat Ramiro Hernandez at the Fight Series promotion into retirement. That's what it says here. He beat him into retirement. What the fuck? How scary do you have to be to beat the shit out of somebody so bad that they retire?
Hey man, it got real. It got real. These things happen, man. This is mixed martial arts. This is the premier athletic event there is right now. This is the premier event. I mean, all the other ones are fine and dandy and all, but this is mixed martial arts, man. You got to be the cream of the crop to survive in that cage. There's something that it does to your mind. I mean, just the fact that you stepped in there and got locked in there. Let it be known that you're on a whole nother wavelength, and then to stick through it and face that opposition and there's something about it. I don't have the words to explain it, but there's a terrifying aspect to it that you know, when that man retired based on the beating he took, I understand. I get it. He weighed out his options, and he thought to himself, I could have died. I made it out of this, and guess what? I'm retiring. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. These things happen.
Yeah, no, 100%. Now, he did, you know, to be fair, he actually did do a couple boxing matches. And I mean, as recently as last year, July and November of 2020. That is
exactly.
of Ramiro Hernandez. But the MMA deal, once that happened with Luis Saldana, that was it was it. Which I gotta fucking get some footage on that.
Hey, look, boxing is great and fine and dandy and all, but it is not on the same level as mixed martial arts. The difference is quite clear. Quite clear. The difference is clear. Boxing is great. You know what I mean? You know, people die in boxing, right? But mixed martial arts is a whole nother beast. That's why those boxers, the very best boxers, will never ever cross over. Tell Canelo to come over. Huh? Tell Floyd to come over. Right? Tell them all to come over and see what happens to them. It's going to be quite easy. Right? It's going to be quite easy. Because if I have 5 guns and you have 1 or 1 knife, the higher probability of getting shot is on you. You know what I'm saying? Because I have way more weapons. Yes, if you are the better shot, then perhaps, yeah, right? But what if I'm a good shot too? Then what?
I spent my entire life trying not to get shot from 95 to 2009 in Inglewood, California. So I'd like to not revisit this shit. So, yeah.
Oh, it gets real in Inglewood.
Yeah, so I'm just saying. I mean, now the only thing real is the fucking, I don't know, like soy-based fucking mocha latte that you can get down Manchester Boulevard. But
right,
it's nor here nor there. Hashtag gentrification. I don't know. So I think,
man.
You know what? I actually think that the Native Psycho, he's gonna look at Luis Saldana as a gentrifier, as an invader of his country, right? And again, it's a tale of two cities, right? You're like, oh, well, he's American. Well, yeah, but native land is native land, right? So I think Jordan Griffin is going to use all that and beat the ever-living hell to make Luis Saldana contemplate retirement and another poetic justice. So I'm picking the Native Psycho, Jordan Griffin, for the win. I'd say 2nd round KO.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to go on the limb and go with the young man from Iowa. One thing I know about some country folks is they don't have much to do. Now, they're either going to do drugs or they're going to do wrestling. This kid here, I will bet you that he's done some wrestling.
I thought you were
bet
gonna
you.
say he's done some meth, and I was like, Jesus.
I will bet you that he's done some wrestling and he's got some adequate wrestling. Iowa wrestling is one of the, you know what I mean? So he must have run into someone that's got some wrestling skills. So he's bringing that to the table, and I think that's gonna play a major factor in this particular matchup. So I'm gonna go on a limb and pick Aldana to go ahead and continue to ruin people's days. So I will go with split decision.
Okay.
I will go with split decision. It's not gonna be an easy match, but I will go with split decision. I expect a lot of wrestling.
Okay. I like it. Wrestling with math is what I got. Wrestling with math. And Addis says, "What's up, my dude? What's going on, Addis? Thank you for joining us again this evening."
Pijmanovic.
Yes.
Pijmanovic. What's up, Pijmanovic?
Tremendous. Yeah. Now, also continuing the tremendousness, we have Wales's Jack Shore. Jack Shore sports an untainted, unblemished 13-0. He is the tank, and he's going up against Hunter Azur, a near perfect Hunter Azur, 9-1. Hunter has impressed us in many a victory, especially the one over Cole Smith back in September. UFC Fight Night. Also, I mean, unanimous decision wins, but Hunter Azur is one who also dominates. It's no split decisions in the last 5 fights. It's all unanimous, right? It's overwhelming. He just overwhelms his opponents, right? But I don't think he's going to overwhelm the tank. I really don't. I think Jack Shore has got what it takes to take this guy to the dance. He's got Wales on his back. He's a former Cage Warriors champion, right? He beat Aaron Phillips by rear naked choke. Back in July of 2020, Anuelin Hernandez, another rear naked choke win. He's got three straight rear naked choke wins in 2 different promotions, Cage Warriors and UFC respectively. He's got punches, kicks, all that jazz. He's not. I mean, the last time that this dude went to a decision, and he's undefeated, right? But the last time he had a decision was literally like 3 years ago, which in MMA that might as well have been a decade ago. So, geez, Louises, I don't know. Look no further in terms of former Cage Warriors champions than to me, he's great. The great Conor McGregor, 2-time Cage Warriors champion. So I think Jack Shore knows exactly what the expectation is in terms of breaching the US UFC audience, and he's done it thus far in his iterations in the UFC octagon, and I think this time will be no different. So I'm going I think it might be a KO from the tank Jack Shore.
Well, it's very interesting you pick Jack Shore, and for the outcome that you pick. But Hunter Azura is no slouch either. The man is a striking weapon. He is a striking weapon. Not to say that Jack Shore isn't a good striker. He is a very good striker, but he is undefeated for a reason. He's undefeated for a reason. If you look at his record, lots of strangulation. He strangles folks in the first to second round, no later than that. And he's got the eye for mistakes. In order to be able to strangle or submit someone, you got to have the eye for spotting mistakes, bad techniques. You know what I mean? So he most of his wins, 90% of his wins was a finish. You know what I mean? With the exception of 2 unanimous decision victories. You know what I mean? So I also will be picking Jack Shore, but I'm picking Jack Shore to initiate some excellent wrestling, excellent jiu-jitsu. As soon as he closes that distance, he's going to go for that kill. He will be submitting Mr. Hunter no later than the second round.
You say Hunter submits him?
I say Josh Shore.
Okay.
Submits Hunter.
Yeah. All right. So I got KO. You got submission, but definitely
Submission.
we got Jack Shore to continue
Most deaf.
to 14-0. Um,
Most deaf.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
Most deaf. Yeah, man. He'll be right back. But coming up next, we have this guy named Johan De Castro versus Jargis Danaho. Jargis. So I was just telling him that we got De Castro versus Jargis. How do you say that?
Georges
Jargis.
Dano. That's it.
Do you know
Yeah,
this guy? You know this
yeah.
guy?
Georges
Is he
Dano.
good?
He
Is he
just
good?
he beats the shit out of people. Like he KOs people, right? And I really hope that he brings all of that. I mean, and the time he's only lost once, right? So the
Uh,
time I think he went to a kind of disputed like draw or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
Technical majority.
yes, yeah, Omalenchuk. Yeah, that's it.
Mm,
But that was way the fuck. Like we haven't seen Georges Dano in the UFC in 4 fucking years. So,
mm,
5 years actually, right?
mm,
5 years.
mm,
We're in 2020, right? He was supposed to fight Greg Hardy, that didn't happen. Um, he was supposed to fight Tai Tuivasa, that didn't happen.
mm, mm, mm,
Dimitri uh I'm gonna say Peroshki because that's just what it looks like to me.
mm,
But yeah, he's back. He is back, Georges Dano, and he's going up against Yoran De Castro, 6-2.
mm. Your favorite
Jesus,
guy.
what? Oh my God, Yoran Castro's body type looks like one of those weird ass. When you want to be a superhero for Halloween, and they have those weird fucking things that you have to put on your chest. I know Voodoo doesn't know because this motherfucker rocks 6-pack, 8-pack abs 24/7. 365 days, 370 days a week. Actually, there's an extra 5 days that
Not anymore.
all of us forgot, but somehow Voodoomaximus kind of maximized all that. But even still, right? Yoran De Castro literally looks like a sack of excrement, literally. And sometimes he fights like it too. Because with the loss, I mean, when we saw him in Fight Island, it wasn't pretty. Him and Carlos Felipe, that was the last time we saw him. I wanted to, I don't know, sit on a tack. I wanted to, I don't know, do one of those like in the Eastern Indian culture, they have Diwali, right?
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
a festival of like, fireworks and everything, but they also, put like spears and stuff through their cheeks and everything like that. I'd rather do that. That was never a deal where like that's a good damn time until I saw Yoran De Castro and Carlos Felipe. Holy fucking Diwali. That's what I got. That was it, dude. I
Yeah.
was done.
Hey, I'm also going with Diwali. Man Mountain. Danho. I'm going with Danho. Jargis
Yeah.
Danho.
Yeah.
Man Mountain. The name alone lets you know that his mentality, what's going on in his mind. The thing about this heavyweight division is, especially at this level, like these guys aren't the most experienced heavyweight fighter around, but they are good enough. They do pack that punch that's going to explode somebody's brain cells. So size, reach advantage counts. This man, Georges Danho, has been doing pretty well for himself. I mean, hasn't had much loss. The last loss was in 2016. And he's been gone for a while. That's true. However, he doesn't lose much. He goes in there and he destroys. First round, second round, no later than the second round. Expect him to come out there after the Johan De Castro. De Castro is 6'4", but he is a little shorter man. I will always give the edge of winning a heavyweight match to the taller guy, especially when his opponent is not that skilled in wrestling. They are going to slug it out, and I believe the longer guy should win this one. We shall see. It's a 50-50 for me. So I will also go with Georges Danho.
Yeah. Now look at this, folks. I don't want to body shame anyone, right? But that looks like all of the Mexican supplements. How can you be that like? It's not even skinny fat. It's like buff fat. Like, I think they did like one of those like Brazilian butt lifts where they kind of extract, cellulite from all of your other parts of your body and inject it into your ass. Well, that's what he looks like in his muscle. Like, it's just weird, man. That's so weird, dude. Like, just get off the. I'm not gonna say it's gas because, hopefully he's kind of USADA tested and tried and true. But Jesus, that's just an eyesore, and he's gotten even bigger. So I mean, just put him out of his misery. Let's stop this. Yes, he got a win on the Contender Series. Yes, he got a KO in the Contender Series. But it's not like he's improved, all that much. He lost a unanimous decision to Greg Hardy. Greg fucking Hardy. Come on.
See,
That's a
there you
gimme
go,
fight.
man. See, Greg Hardy can move though. Because of his years of football, he can move his feet. He's not stationary. So he knows that a De Castro is trying to blast his head off. So all he has to do is move, stick and move from afar. So I'm not sure what Georges is going to do, but Georges can actually finish him using his boxing and staying long. You know what I mean? If he can stay long and snap him from the outside, I believe he can finish De Castro. But what's his footwork like? Is he flat-footed? Because if he's flat-footed, De Castro will be able to walk him down and eventually land something himself. So we will see. We will see.
I'm not even giving a shit. Georges Dano reminds me of Zangief from Street Fighter. You remember what Zangief's fucking move was? Where he fucking did this and he fucking twirled the fuck around, right? If Georges Dano does a fucking Zangief on him, I wouldn't give a shit. Like, it doesn't have to be the most technical. I'm not looking for the most technical. I'm just saying, you, Georges Dano, after 5 years sabbatical, you are the one to send, one Euron De Castro out of the UFC, back to the damn whatever. Because again, it's just all fucked, man. So please, Georges Dano, hear my cry. Amen. Is what I got. That's what I got. And I'm a portly gentleman myself, right? I mean, but it's just, I also am not a UFC fighter. Like, I can't rock that fucking gut and go into, look at how many fighters are trying to get to the pinnacle of the sport, and you're on De Castro, you're there. Oh God, just, forget it. But one thing that we're not going to forget is an international affair, because we have John Makdessi, UFC veteran, the Bull Makdessi of Canada, and he sports a 17-7 record, right? And he is going against Chile's own, Ignacio Bermudez.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. 6'3" Ignacio.
La Jaula.
6'3".
His nickname is the fucking Cage. For those who follow Combate Americas and now Combate Global, La Jaula means cage. That's what he has in his moniker. He is built for this. La Jaula. So what say you?
I'm going with La Jaula to win this one. Understand that this fight is going to be a beautiful striking battle. But unfortunately for John Makdessi, he is a very good striker. He is one of the first few that started using dynamic striking a few years back. Right. You know what I mean? He's part of that Rory McDonald generation. You know what I mean? So he's got the striking prowess. But unfortunately, Ignacio, he's doing this thing too, and he's got reach advantage. He can do the same thing. So it's all about how Ignacio measures the distance between the two of them, that no man's land. How well he measures, uses his reach, and finish. But I think Ignacio can finish this by split decision. John Makdessi, he's got spin kicks. He's got all sorts of weapons on him. So I don't know. He might initiate some wrestling and take him down due to that height. But it's all dependent on Ignacio's takedown defense. How much wrestling experience does he have? But I'm banking that he has enough wrestling to wrestle against John Makdessi, keep the fight standing on the feet, and go ahead and snatch that split decision. And also, this is another candidate for fight of the night. That's our second for today. Oh yeah.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Yeah, so that's it. We got Ignacio La Jaula as the winner in this particular one. How does it go down? Unanimous?
It's gonna be split.
Okay.
McDessie, he will have his time to shine as well, but the kid, I believe the kid will outlast him.
No,
Outreach him.
100%. Now, I love how you mentioned the kid, right? Because in our next matchup, we have the tenured veteran of Scotty Hot Sauce Holtzman, who's 14-4 against Mateusz Gamrot, right? And this one, and Gamrot sports a 17-1 record. Now, you might think, hey, this is an even deal. This is, this is a lateral kind of movement in terms of the scorecard. But here's the fact of the matter. Yes, Scott Holtzman has wins over such luminaries as a Darrell Horcher, right? A Jim Miller, right? That happened last year in February, pre-pandemic. My goodness, pre-pandemic, it's weird to say. But a lot of his fights and wins happen, oh God, like pre-UFC, in the mid 2010s, right? So this one is one of the first ones of the night where we're going to see a tenured young veteran against a young buckshot bucking Bronco. Unfortunately, I am going to pick against Hot Sauce. I think the Hot Sauce gets Pepsid AC, right? If Hot Sauce is hot and it gives people ulcers, well, Pepto-Bismol and Pepsid AC is exactly what the counterpoint is. And I think the young Mateusz is essentially going to handle Scott Holtzman in a way that he hasn't been before. And it's going to be all Mateusz. I mean, he is the game, and there's a reason why he is. Most of his fights came by way of outside of the promotion, KSW, was a lion's share of where, he basically held wins. Also had a short stint in Cage Warriors. But, he's somebody who's, I called him a young veteran, but they both have kind of like the same, maybe it is more of a gimme than I thought, because they've been fighting about the same time. It's just Holtzman has more UFC, kind of experience than Mateusz does, but that's I mean, the UFC where Scott Holtzman plied his trade is a different one that the one that he's going to step into the cage with on Saturday night. So fuck, I don't even know. This is
this one. I'm gonna go with the youngster, man. I'm going with the youngster, Gamrot. Not only am I going, why am I going with the youngster? The last time we saw him, he was in there against Guram Kutateladze. Guram was a guy that came in with Hamza Chimaev, his homie,
right,
undefeated fella. When he fought that guy, even Guram felt that he lost that match against this guy. You know what I mean? It was primarily a striking match. There was some grappling. It was superb. Everything was great. But I still believe that Scott is not going to have what it takes. Scott is good. Scott is a complete fighter, but I do not think he's going to have what it takes to stop Gamrot, because Gamrot is a complete fighter also. Not only is he a complete fighter, he is younger. Not only is he younger, he's got multiple ways of winning matches. I mean, doctor stoppage, grappling, submission, unanimous decision, corner stoppage. He brings the pain. Lots of unanimous decision victories, but also heel hooks, dynamic submission. Like, how many people get to a heel hook? How many people have been in there with Gary Tonin? Yeah, he lost against Gary Tonin at ADCC, but how many people get to go to ADCC? You know what I mean? That tells you his grappling is top notch.
Yep.
You know what I mean? At least in regards to mixed martial arts,
Yep.
it's above average. His grappling is above average. So we will see some grappling. I mean, if it calls for it, and if they do engage in that grappling, this is where Scott is going to be outclassed. I believe Hot Sauce will be outclassed in the grappling realm. I mean, that 7-year difference between the two of them is extremely significant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is Scott a specimen? He could be. He could be a specimen, a special individual. But at the same time, you know, his pro record does say 14-4. So he's lost to at least 4 people. You know what I mean? I think it's the gamers' time, man. I think it's the gamers' time. I see the gamers stopping him in the 3rd round.
I like it.
I see him stopping him. TKO. I see a TKO.
I like it. Now, it's funny that you mentioned the ADCC with Gary Tonin. Had on the According to Woods podcast the voice of BKFC in a list of other MMA and pro wrestling promotion, the Mr. Live Worldwide, Jeff Houston, who actually was the announcer and host for that auspicious deal where Gary Tonin essentially got crowned in his defeat of Mateus. So that's a kind of a fun one. So I love that you brought it up because it's so fresh in my memory.
Yeah, Mateus, man. He is the future of that division, guaranteed. Future of that division. Now, will this matchup make possible fight of the night? I think I can agree with that. Scott Holtzman is high level. I'm not, just because I didn't pick him doesn't mean he is not good. He is very good. And this is why I am going to say that this is my 3rd candidate for fight of the night.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a fun one.
All right. Now, obviously, because this is going to be on ABC, right? There is a substantially larger prelim card than there is main card, right? But I mean, it's not for naught because the main event of the prelims will be Jim Miller against Jim A1 Miller against Joe Selecki. A10, which I didn't know. Jim Miller comes from a time where A10 might have meant something, but there's that. Our good buddy Don McGuire, the good brother who had a quick West Coast jaunt, the rock star that he is. And speaking of rock star, Joe Selecki, 10-2, right? And he's going up against, one of the most recognizable faces in the division, in Jim Miller, right? This one is, again, almost like the way the Jalen Turner versus Jim Miller did. Oh, I'm sorry, Roosevelt Roberts. I get the two confused. Sorry, gentlemen. Yeah. But yes, the Roosevelt Roberts and Jim Miller, right? Joe Selecki. I think they just throw the young guns at Miller, thinking like, this will be the thing that basically we can get rid of Jim Miller from our payroll checks, right? We can. That's it. We'll just throw him in there, and he's gonna eventually get KO'd, and then we can move on. Nobody. I guess Jim Miller didn't get the memo because he's on a bit of a win streak. He's how many wins? I want to say, I'm sorry, he lost to Vince Michelle, got the armbar versus Roosevelt Roberts. He lost to Scott Holtzman back in February, and he beat Clay Guida and Jason Gonzalez. So, geez, this fucking Jim Miller, man. I don't know when it's time. I really don't know when it's time, but he is somebody that has earned his place.
Hey, man, Jim Miller is still hanging around in the lightweight division. The lightweight division. Arguably the most dangerous division ever put together. You know what I mean? We can sound off on all the killers that's ran through the 155-pound division. It's too many. It's too many to name. If you were to look at all the weight classes and see how many killers you can find in each one. There's a good chance that 155-pound division has the most killers. It's a good chance. I haven't done research, but I will put my money on the 155-pound division. Now, this guy, he's 37 years old now. He's been in the UFC since what?
2014 at least.
I think before that.
Jesus.
2008.
Good God.
Yeah, 2008. He's been in the UFC since 2008, and he's still there with the very best in the game. He's still there with the very best in the game. And then now we have this youngster. See, Jim Miller is that guy. I don't want to call him a gatekeeper, but I think in his case, it's not a disrespect to call him a gatekeeper. You do not truly belong in the 155-pound division unless you are able to get through Jim Miller. See, Jim Miller is not that guy that's gonna do a slugfest with you. He'll fight you with his hands and feet long enough for him to grab a hold of you. And once he does, most people don't get away. So now Jim Miller is here, and Joe Solecki, also a phenomenal grappler in his own right, with decent striking. I would say enough striking that's comparable to Jim Miller. This particular fight we will see primarily in the grappling division, in the grappling area, because Joe himself, he's going to want to go in there and he's going to want to test himself against the great one in Jim Miller. He's going to want to show Jim Miller, hey, man, I think I can beat you at your own game, with all due respect. I can beat you at your own game. This is what I see for Joe Solecki. I think this is what he's going to do. He's going to go in there with excellent grappling, and he's going to get out of there with a split decision victory. I don't think he's going to submit Jim Miller. I don't see that happening. But I do see Joe Solecki going in there and being just a little bit faster, just a little bit quicker than Jim Miller. I don't see Jim Miller beating him either.
Yeah. Split decision. No, that's a good one. I think it's really hard. It's either gonna go Joe Solecki by KO or Jim Miller submission. I can't really pick.
It's a tough one. Because they're both complete fighters. The fight can go wherever they both decide to take it. You know what I mean? It can go wherever they both decide to take it. But looking at their history, their primary go-to is the grappling. You know what I mean? When you, like a Jim Miller, I mean, why do you think he lasted so long? At 37 years old, he's been in there since 2008. Most people don't make it 5 years, but he's been there since 2008. We are in 2021. Jim Miller was in Fight Island.
Yeah.
Jim Miller was in Fight Island. He is still also very relevant right now. If you want to break into the top 10, you've got to beat a Jim Miller. If you cannot beat a Jim Miller, they're not going to give you another recognizable name. So Joe Solecki really needs to do everything possible to put a Jim Miller on his record as a victory. If he's able to do that, then his name will be a little bit more valuable, because Jim Miller, man, who doesn't know Jim Miller? Whom hasn't he fought? You know what I'm saying? What? Jim Miller is the gold standard. He is the gold standard, and he's still there, 37 years old, still at the top of his game, competing with these young bucks, and finishing them. I do not see Jim Miller winning this, but it's going to be a formidable fight, and I see a split decision victory for the young Joe Solecki.
There it is. Don McGuire says, kind of off topic, Mighty Mouse catching the knee was hilarious. The mouse got caught in the trap. And a lot of people were talking about how he loved ONE FC because they allowed knees after the whole Aljamain Sterling and Petr deal went down, and they're like, whatever. And as soon as he got KO'd by the knees, and he was had a come to Jesus type moment, just against the cage, just wondering what the fuck happened with his life. That that the tweets as well as the KO went side by side and became a meme. So rightfully so. It's a tough fucking fight business, man. Go back to fucking playing video games. And this is all. I mean, if you think about like evolution, I think the flyweights have like both the women's and the males. In terms of you might have 6 months where you're the fucking king or queen pin of your respective division. Hopefully you can get a title shot in that six months, because there's a whole every 6 months there's a whole new cycle of absolute phenomenal athletes, phenomenal fighters, jiu-jitsu practitioners, taekwondo, whatever. They're coming, and they're fucking coming for your head. So yeah, and again, Mighty Mouse fucking found that out. Hopefully, man, it would be good to see the dude who beat him against Davidson Fedorado, because that's exactly where my mind went. I was like, 2 Brazilians fucking doing this shit. Let's do that. Book it, Dana. But can't have nice.
Yeah. Prior to that knee, man, he ran into, I believe, a phantom uppercut. The uppercut was really what did him in, because he wasn't even able to think logically while he was on the ground. He was just trying to post to keep from getting put on his back. And from muscle memory, all those years being successful in the UFC, that position that he was in was a position that was previously okay. So when he fell into trouble, the muscle memory went back to that, and eventually putting him in a situation where he got knocked out with that knee. But it was that uppercut, that well-placed uppercut, that did it. You know what I mean? The knee was just an icing on the cake, but that uppercut was what did it. And post-fight, I saw the post-fight interview with DJ, and the way he took it very well. He has matured so much in these years of the competition. Yeah, he plays video game like a young man, but he is no young man. But video games is another avenue that's making money. I am not mad at those guys that play video games. I don't want my kids sitting there watching them play video games on YouTube. I don't want to see that. But I don't want to see that nonsense. But if they're able to make lots and lots of money doing what they love, why not, man? Why not? Some of these dudes have millions of subscribers, and they're making thousands and thousands of dollars a day. You know what I mean? All power to them, man. Like if Mighty Mouse can continue on that path and keep playing video games, go ahead and play video games. Mighty Mouse has nothing else to prove to anyone. And can Mighty Mouse continue? Oh yes, he can. Oh yes, he can. He got caught slipping. You know what I mean? If he never got hit with that uppercut, that knee would have never materialized. He got caught slipping. It is what it is. Every now and then, when you've been in there for so long, somebody will catch you. This is, you know what I mean? This is what it is. This is what, I mean, it doesn't even have to be someone with better skills than you. That can puzzle. It's all about timing, It's all about timing. So he got caught. He gave props to his opponent for catching him. And the knee, he should have watched out for the knee. He totally supports the knee. He's not against knee strikes on the ground. He's okay with it. And then that's another testament to where his mind's at. He's really, man, that knee strike on the ground, man, is that next level. I have to admit. And the UFC doesn't have the next level, man. You know what I mean? I'm being honest. I love the UFC. I prefer to watch the UFC content. But in regards to that knee on the ground, you know what I mean? It's another level of danger that's been placed upon these athletes. And you can't just sit on your ass and Aljamain Sterling in ONE FC. You will get put out. You know what I mean? But then you go ahead and you look at Aljamain Sterling's opponent, Pietre Yan, see where his mind is. He's okay with smashing your skull with his knee while you're on the ground. He's okay with that. So if you were to take him and you throw him into ONE FC, he's going to thrive because his mentality already accepts it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Will I like to see knees on the ground? It's a weapon that works. Why not? If you can kick a man in his skull, you know what I mean? Shin him in his skull. Why not knee him in his skull while he's on the ground, man? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, obviously different, weight classes. DJ and the Brazilian gentleman, that's a flyweight, and the the UFC flyweight title is held by Davidson Figueiredo. But one could make an argument that one's flyweight championship is a true world championship rather than the UFC bantamweight title currently held by Aljamain Sterling. I'm going to go ahead and say it. That's it.
Yeah,
it's a world title.
Hey, look, Aljamain Sterling ain't no champion. He's what you call a paper champion. You know what I mean? And why am I calling him a paper champion? Because of the way he went about accepting the belt. There's nothing wrong. Look, the rule says you cannot knee someone in the head, right? Okay, that's fine. He got kneed in the head. It's only right that the belt goes to him. I agree with all that. Like, all that other stuff was throwing me off. Like, what's with the you know what I mean? Like if you're conscious enough to cut the promo that you cut after that fight, you should be conscious enough to say, hey, even though I didn't beat you yet, I'm gonna hold on to this. It was mine anyway. You know what I'm saying? It was mine anyway. You were just holding it for me. I mean, if he would have went out and he played it, like that,
if he played it,
instead of saying, "Oh, he needs me," like if he would have went out and said, like, "Yo, it was my belt anyway. You was holding it for me.
Yeah,
it found its way home. You know what I mean? You couldn't handle the heat, right? If he would have said something like that, then I'd be like, all right, Aljamain, you know what I mean? Like, he went about it, you know what I mean, the right way. But then he want to cry about, you cheated. Yeah. The way he's taking pictures after the fight, like, man, you didn't even think you could win. Is what that told me?
Yep.
Aljamain didn't believe it could beat that boy, man. He didn't believe it. So when the belt finally came home, he celebrated, even though he wasn't victorious, even though he was losing on all the scorecards. He celebrated a paper championship. How dare you?
Now, one thing that, and Don Rugar is saying, with Dana selling his last shares of the UFC, they're going to be in a fight to stay on top. And again, look at what we have here, right? And a lot of people shit on it, right? We talked about Jimmy Smith basically going over to WWE NXT like Mauro Ranallo before him, right? And if anybody that doesn't say Mauro Ranallo and Jimmy Smith aren't legit fucking announcers and commentators, you're out of your fucking mind. Those are two of my favorites. But they've got that WWE money, right? So what does it say where we live in a world, right, where just the TV rights for the app, right? No ownership stake, just the TV rights for the WWE network going to Peacock that sold for $1 billion. And that's just the fucking tape library, right? The entire organization of the UFC, of the former Zuffa, right? We're talking Pride, we're talking UFC, we're talking all the tape libraries, all the exclusive content, all the fucking embeddeds, Strike Force, all of that shit, WEC, and all that whatever. And guess what? That sold for $4 billion. Just the fucking rights to the tape archives of the WWE sold for not that much less than the entire fucking organization of the premier organization in MMA. That is the world that we're living in. So again, you guys can talk, I don't like the WWE, blah, 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 and it's all full of shit. That's cool. All right. The fucking WWE wrestlers, even are the curtain jerkers, they look at the fucking Venom deal and go, ha ha, that's just my fucking putting me in the WWE video game, the royalty check. That's my t-shirt sale for last month. Your entire salary, what John Jones is getting, are fucking t-shirt sales to some WWE wrestlers, putting his life on the fucking line. So that's where we are.
I mean, professional wrestling is no easy task either.
No.
It's next to mixed martial art, professional wrestling is up there with it.
Yeah.
The only difference is it's actually, I would say it's the same thing in regards to damage.
Yeah.
And in regards to damage, it is the same exact thing. Athleticism necessary to execute WWE techniques is the same athleticism necessary to execute in mixed martial arts. Only mixed martial arts takes it a step further in actually making real connections. You know what I mean? With the flesh. You know what I mean? Bone to bone is really occurring. Not only by mistake, but with purpose and with precision. You know what I mean? This is where the UFC takes off slightly. But don't sleep on the WWE or sports entertainment. Don't sleep on that. They are formidable individuals. I mean, some of them are in it for generations. The Rock himself is like third generation, in right, and then there's been other family members after him, fourth generation. So so a lot of these people are deeply rooted in WWE style of entertainment. So I myself grew up watching WWE. Lots of skill I picked up from watching WWE. So and it helped me when I did my mixed martial arts term. It helped me using the mic. It helped me speaking in front of an audience. You know, I watched them growing up as a kid. I watched how they did it. I watched how they connect with the audience. You know what I mean? And then from that, you get good feedback. I mean, Conor McGregor does it all the time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He says things that connects with the audience. And if he can connect with the audience in front of him, understand that he's connecting with all those audience on watching on the tube around the world. So it's a beautiful thing. WWE is a huge influence for mixed martial arts.
Absolutely. And Don McGuire says Bellator was stupid for letting Jimmy go. 100%. Jimmy Smith and Sean Wheelock are almost like my Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg, right? Or Bellator. They are, when I started watching, those were the two. Now, Sean Wheelock and BKFC, right? And a litany of other promotions, Jimmy Smith, whatever. Again, the fact, I want all of it. The fucking backyard street beefs, right? The fucking MMA, the fucking boxing, pro wrestling, BKFC. Give it all to me, because you know what that means? That means there's more places for people to ply their trade, whether they be MMA, whether like anybody, right? If you are devoting your life and time to this, there are more places for you to make your money. So thank goodness for all of it, because if not for the UFC, if not for Bellator, if not for ONE FC, if not for PFL, if not for AEW, WWE, Impact Wrestling, New Japan, whatever, look at how many people would not have a job right now, from the production people all the way on to the top stars. So just shout out. I just want everybody to get paid better, but again, by harnessing this, it's that fucking Ali act that Conor brought, to fight Floyd. It's with those things where you kind of have to leverage, like, oh, fuck, you're not going to do it? Cool. I'm just going to go to another promotion. Hey, maybe I'll do fucking wrestling. Fuck, none other than fucking Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar made $1 in the WWE. So I'm just saying, I'm all for everybody making money. However way they fucking need to do it, fucking start on OnlyFans. I don't give a shit. Have at it. Go for it. Knock yourself out. Make money, because you have a small fucking window where you got no fucking brain cells left to do anything else in your life. So get that fucking money. Get that bag.
Yeah, indeed. It is a small window, especially in professional entertainment industry. They don't last long because the requirement on the body is so great. The time necessary to become sufficient and effective in that industry is so great. The thousands and thousands of competition that you have to go up against in each division is so great. I mean, if you don't know anyone that can help you, then you stay in that line. Otherwise, if you do know someone, you can cut the line. But if you don't, then you're stuck. If you get lucky, you get lucky. You get that phone call. So it's a tough way to live, but at the same time, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, speaking of missing brain cells, we have the
Mhm,
first fight of the main card, and this is oh, oh my god! Talk about losing brain cells, losing being separated from consciousness. That is
mhm,
exactly what's going to happen in this one because we have Platinum Mike Perry against D Rod Daniel Rodriguez.
mhm,
Fuck
mhm,
yes, give me this, man. I
mhm,
I want fucking Daniel Rodriguez to beat the shit out of Platinum Mike Perry and just let
mhm,
him go. Him and his girlfriend, they can do whatever. I feel bad for his girlfriend, like being
mhm.
in that shit. It's a weird situation. The fucking Mike Perry. I just don't like Mike Perry. Just don't like what he stands for. Don't like what he's about. You know, like I grew up in the fucking streets. My dad was a street fucking performer in San Francisco.
Mhm,
I'm not ignorant. I tried not to be.
mhm.
Don't fucking don't give me all that bullshit about like, I'm from the fucking streets and I got nothing, so I have to be a fucking idiot. Fuck you, Mike Berry. Daniel Rodriguez all day, KO. I want this shit to happen in 90 seconds. Like this, I want like almost the way that we remember Impa, right? The way we
Mhm,
were
mhm,
after the fucking Joaquin Buckley, KO, like fucking a
mhm,
footnote in history, like essentially what Miz and Morrison are gonna be when Bad fucking Bunny beats them at WrestleMania. Can't believe whatever, but when all of the fucking TMZs and the snapshots and the fucking all that whatever, it's gonna be fucking Daniel Rodriguez sleeping fucking Mike Perry. He's gonna put this motherfucker to sleep, and I am not mad at it. I want that shit to happen in 90 seconds. I want that like fucking Mike Perry to do some dumb shit and like they fucking Mike Perry gets KO'd before the fucking ring even starts. Like,
mhm.
oh yeah, this Mike Perry, fuck Mike Perry. Let's go, D Rod.
Okay, so Mike Perry, he's known for being a slugger and a knock you outer. If you look at his record, lots of first round knockout. He used to, he was he was comfortable attacking people with his hands and trying to put their lights out. Actually, this is how he made his name, is by going out there and putting people's lights out with his hands. Lots of first round decision victories, knees, elbows, punches, this and that. He's done it all, right? But recently, Mike, he just he just had a child. Mike Perry's a father now. And one thing that I've learned is fatherhood or parenthood changes an individual. Now, if you think back and you look closely to the last few fights of this fella, you've seen unanimous decision. Even though he lost against Team Mean, unanimous decision. What do we notice? Even before that, Al Quinta, he beat Al Quinta in a grappling match, in which at the Submission Underground, in which
Mm-hmm.
they ran out the clock and then they went into overtime. He was able to escape faster. He didn't submit Al, but he still beat him technically. So lately, after his last head kick knockout to Jeff Neal and split decision loss to Vincente Luque, he has realized that I need to do more if I'm going to stay in the UFC. I need to do more. And he has been improving a lot on his grappling. He is highly, highly, highly focused on his jiu-jitsu and his wrestling. So do not expect him to go in there and slug it out against Daniel Rodriguez. I hope Daniel Rodriguez has been working on that takedown defense because that's all he's going to see all day long. It's going to be a whole lot of takedowns or
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot of takedown attempts. Uh, Understand that Mike Perry is no longer a slugger. He is no longer a slugger. Not saying that Daniel Rodriguez is a slugger. I know Daniel would rather stand. I know he would rather use his hands and fight on the ground. This is just
Yep.
his nature. You know what I'm saying? This is Zapata here. I'd rather live on my feet than die on my knees. This is his mentality, and I can respect that. So, in order for him to stand on his feet, he's gonna have to initiate lots and lots of wrestling. So I hope he's done that. I hope he's prepared his
Oh, yeah.
wrestling in order to keep this fight where Mike Perry would not want it to be, and that's on the feet. Mike Perry is a changed man. He's looking for the ground. Uh, it's not gonna be as exciting as we would want it to be.
Oh, this
I
is my fight
do.
of the night right here.
Oh yeah. Okay. I see that. I do want D Rod to win. I will pick D Rod to win, but it's gonna be a very boring match because Mike Perry is gonna make it so. He's gonna do his best to make it so. And if he is unsuccessful, that's because he got knocked out.
I like it. I like that latter part. Mike Perry getting knocked out. That's it. That's the Christmas come early. Christmas come early. Now, I this one is an interesting one, right? Because we have in the strawweight division, we have the former Nina Ansaroff, now Nina Nunes, the wife of literally the female goat, right? The reigning UFC featherweight and bantamweight champion in Amanda Nunes, right? But she's going up against, this is two families, right? Two families of Brazil, right? Because we've got Nina Nunes, right, against Mackenzie Dern. And again, Mackenzie Dern, yeah, Megaton Diaz is her dad. Like, your dad is named almost like a damn, like a Mega Droid from fucking Power Rangers. And he's this jujitsu fucking ace and has been for the last 20 years. His fingers look like, I don't know, man. Like, it's weird, man. He's got the dexterity. They're not anything good to look at, but they will choke you out like nobody else, right? This is a battle of two moms. Mackenzie Dern is a mother, a young mother herself, with her husband, and Nina Nunes coming off of the birth of their daughter. So this is interesting. Now, obviously, Nina Nunes has some submission victories. She's got some unanimous decisions, right? But you're gonna have to be able to thwart Mackenzie Dern's takedowns, one, and then figure out a way to beat like you got to KO Mackenzie Dern. That's the only way you're gonna win. Because if not, Mackenzie's either coasted to a unanimous decision, or she's gonna submit you, like the anaconda that a black belt of her caliber should. That's just what happens, right? So, and she's no longer undefeated because again, somebody figured her out, right? And knew Amanda Hebus. Yeah, Amanda Hebus figured her out, right? But ever since then, Hannah Cyphers, knee bar, arm bar around DeMarcus, Verna Jandiroba, unanimous decision, right? So 2 out of the 3 are her, the submissions and everything like that. So Nina really has to KO Mackenzie Dern. If she doesn't, she's getting submitted or Mackenzie's floating to unanimous decision.
One thing that I know about Nina Ashcroft, she's got some hands. I'll give her that. Nina Ashcroft's got some good hands. She's got some decent wrestling, decent. Is it safe to call Nina Ashcroft a complete fighter?
I would say
I believe so. I would say so as well. Because if you go to her record, you will see the type of people that she's beaten, and they're formidable top 10 opponents.
Yeah.
So, she's good. She's very good. Skill wise, she's very good. But then she's going in there against Mackenzie Dern, Jiu-Jitsu world champion. Jiu-Jitsu world champion. She gets close to you, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because she's sticky. She sticks to you like glue, and she tries to take your neck off by popping your head off. You know what I mean? After the loss of Amanda Hebus, she realized that there is something missing in her game. There is something missing in the game, and that's that striking prowess. Lately, she has been improving her striking prowess. Is that Jason? Who's their coach?
Jason
Jason
Perillo. Yeah,
Perillo,
Jason
yes,
Perillo.
yes, Coach Jason Perillo, I should say. He's earned that right. Coach Jason Perillo has been working with her, and she's looking quite well. She's looking quite well. In the last few matches that she's had, her striking has been a major component that gave her the opportunity to secure the submission. So her hands are getting better, right? And one thing about childbirth, however, is Mackenzie Dern, I believe, lost after she came back from childbirth. What's that? The one that wants to fight Amanda Nunes.
Amanda Hebus. Oh
Also,
wait,
no.
wait.
The one that came back from childbirth. She wants to fight Amanda Nunes right now
Oh, geez,
from
Juliana
Combate
Pena.
America. Juliana Pena came back from
Yeah.
childbirth, also
No.
lost.
She's
I
had her
mean,
job for a bit.
who?
I want to
Pena?
say.
You talking about Pena?
I thought
Yeah, she's had a
Pena.
child for a bit,
Yeah.
but she lost when she first came back.
Oh yeah,
She
yeah,
she got
100%.
submitted. She got submitted by Valentina Shevchenko.
Right, I
She
remember.
lost. You know what I mean? So there's something that giving birth does to the body. I feel it weakens it because the woman has to share so much of herself, has to give at least 20 to 30% of themselves to this child, and then they have to rebuild. I believe she is still in the rebuilding process. I believe this is going to be the key to Mackenzie Dern getting in there and getting at least a split decision victory. It's going to be a tough fight. I'm not saying Nina is all the way weak,
Right.
but she's not going to have what she formerly had, at least not yet. It takes time to rebuild the body after childbirth. I mean, she's looking good. She's got six pack. You know what I mean? She's looking good. She's fit. That's because she has low body fat. What you look like doesn't really say what you have on the inside. Lots of people are buff looking, but really they're truly weak on the inside. So we will see what Nina Nunes, Nina Ashkarov Nunes has to say about my comments. We will see come Saturday.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. Now, one thing that we're going to see a little bit of is Sam Alvey, Smiling Sam, our good friend, Smiling Sam, out of Temecula, and the team. What is it? Team Quest, Dan Henderson. I almost wanted to say
Mhm.
Team Henderson, but
Yes.
out of Temecula, California, Silent Sam Alvey, and he's going up against the Cuban Missile Crisis, Julian Marquez, the gentleman who famously asked if Miley Cyrus wanted to be his Valentine, but fucked up, got in her DMs and couldn't pull the trigger. And I think he's
Mhm.
got that rage because he couldn't get it done with Miley Cyrus. He couldn't close the deal. That he's going to take out his aggression on Smiling Sam. I hate that I'm going to have to say this, but Smiling Sam is going to get starched by the Cuban Missile Crisis.
This one here, it's a very tough one to call. I don't know what Smiling Sam has left in his tank. I can't even. I don't know. I mean, I look at his record, 4-5 losing streak. Um, he hasn't been fired yet because he is in the lightweight division. The lightweight division is not deep at all.
Mhm.
So Smiling Sam can stick around just because of that reason alone. And Smiling Sam is good enough to be a gatekeeper in this division. He's good enough to be considered a gatekeeper, which is a great honor. Julian Marquez, on the other hand, he's got tenacity. He's got tenacity. His striking is not the very best. His grappling is decent. It's decent. He keeps coming though. He's got deceptive power in his hands, such that he will smash you if you slip up. Now, is he capable of smashing Sam Alvey? I believe so. I believe he can. If he can wrestle Sam very very hard in the beginning, I believe he'll be able to catch him later on and finish him. So I'm calling for the Cuban Missile Crisis also to win this one by third round knockout or
Mhm.
TKO.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And again, I hate doing that, but I think Sam Alvey's kind of future lays in the next generation of fighters that he raises at the Team Quest facility in Temecula. Guys like, I mean, former California State champion, a multiple time amateur champion, Trevor Wells. They've got, Tom Galicchio is no longer there, but there's David Lopez. There's a litany of people there. Also, somebody that just fought, like a female fighter. I want to say Ashley Yoder is there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where I think Sam Alvey's future in combat sports lay. He's got an awesome family life. His wife is his coach and manager, and she was a finalist on, if not the winner of America's Next Top Model with Tyra Banks. So
Wow.
they've got their whole synergy deal. It's awesome. Just love Sam Alvey. I just think him in the UFC, this might be his swan song.
Yeah, his time's almost up, man. And shout out to Sam Alvey for giving a young buck an opportunity to receive that baton. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's only right that these older fellas, you know what I mean, give the younger, like Jim Miller is as well. Jim Miller is just not ready to hand the baton to no one. Sam Alvey, it's up to him if he's ready to hand over that baton. If he wants to hold on to it and keep it, he's got to go in there and destroy Julian Marquez. If he's able to do that, capture, a little light. What's that singer's name? The one,
Stimulus package.
The Julian Marquez called, she
Cuban
wanted him
Missile
to
Crosser.
tattoo. Yeah, she wanted him to tattoo his name or her name on his body if he was to date her. What's her name again?
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus. Capture a little bit of that Miley Cyrus energy, So, Sam Alvey, thank you for all your years of service, Through it all, you smiled. I totally appreciate that. You are a class act. Class act. If you want to stick around, go ahead and be Julian. If not, thank you. Thank you for your service. I'm not sure you will be able to do it, but it doesn't matter what I think. All that matters is what you think, Sam Alvey. You go in there and you handle your business. However, I am a betting man, and I'm betting on Julian Marquez to finish you in the third.
There you go. And Don McGuire says, Voodoo looking like Sidney Poitier.
Hey,
I wish I
Sidney
could.
Poitier. Hey, right? I would take that one. Hey, Sidney Poitier is revolutionary, man. I'm trying to revolutionize this thing right here, just like Sidney Poitier.
There it is. So look who's coming to dinner, is what I say. And Zach Cummins would have throttled Smiling Sam. You're not wrong there, unfortunately.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
unfortunately for no joke.
No, he's not. There's ferocity.
Yeah.
But you know what is ferocity? And it's been a while, but we are at the co-main events of the evening. We have Arnold Allen out of Great Britain, 16-1, the almighty Arnold Allen, and he's going up against Sodiq Youssef in 11-1. This one, I would have thought that Daniel Rodriguez and Mike Perry would have been co-main event. I could also see why you wouldn't want to put it there, right? But I think Arnold Allen and Sodiq Youssef absolutely know this, right? They know that people are going to sleep on this particular fight. And good God, look at just the last 3 wins that Arnold Allen has. He's a tri-star pupil. He's there with Faraz Zahabi and all. But look at this, right? Jordan Rinaldi, Nick the Carney Lenz, and Gilbert Melendez. That was your last.
Gilbert Melendez.
Yes, legend. 2 out of the 3 right there. Legends, man. So now on the other side of the docket, we have Sodiq Youssef and Super Sadiq. His last win was against Andre Touchy-Feely. This dude is on a 1, 2, 3, 6 fight winning streak. Dylan Tuke, Mike David, at Dana White's Contender Series, Suman Mokhtarian,
Mm-hmm.
Shoyman Moraes,
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel Benitez, and Andrew
Mm-hmm.
Touchy Feely. That is the
Mm-hmm.
teletape for Mr. Allen.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
Sadiq Youssef, he's
Indeed.
got a win. Oh, damn. It's almost. Wait, no. I think I read off the wrong one. I read off Sadiq
That
Youssef's
was
deal.
Sadiq you just read. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. I'm sorry. So our Allen, he's got no. It's almost the same. He's got wins over Nick Lenz and Gilbert Melendez.
Yes. I'm
Holy
waiting for
shit!
you to finish. I'm waiting for you to finish to say that these gentlemen are evenly matched. And what you're going to have here is going to be that beautiful, beautiful dynamic striking, the future of mixed martial arts. You say D-Rod and Mike Perry should have been in this spot, but you understand why? This is why. These two young men are flashy strikers. You're going to be on ABC. You know what I mean? The closest fight to the main event has to be something that raises the tempo, something with the potential to raise the tempo. You know what I mean? Get everybody's heart rate up sky high, and then boom, you hit them with the main event, right? So this fight has that potential to raise that tempo. Sadiq is of Nigerian descent. You already know about them Nigerians. You know what I mean? Teach a Nigerian how to do something, and he'll take it to the next level with before you know it. And that's what we've got here with Sadiq. Sadiq, the only fight that he lost was from a slam. You know what I mean? What happens when you get slammed is the air gets knocked out of you, and then breathing becomes difficult. And then if an opponent in Luis Gomez is able to capitalize with punches, the referee's going to get in there and stop the fight. And that's what happened. He's yet to make the same mistake. You know what I mean? Because he's learned. He's learned. He knows where he came from. He knows how hard it is, where he comes from. So Luis almost derailed his momentum, but quickly he's back on the road to his winning ways. 7-fight win streak later, he's doing this thing. I am going with home team. Arnold Allen, great individual and all that, you know, great individual with what 16 and 1 or whatever it is. Great for him. Yeah, great for him and all. But I'm going with Sadiq. I'm picking my guy Sadiq. Let's go, Super Sadiq.
Now, Don Bulgaria says Arnold Allen second round TKO.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm gonna refrain. I'm gonna refrain.
It's gonna be a great match.
I'm not gonna pick in between you and Don McGuire Voodoo. So I ain't stupid enough. So I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one. This is gonna be a great fight. One of the fights of the evening, like the fucking what is it? Performance of the nights. That's definitely gonna be one of them.
I will agree with you.
I am not gonna fucking pick. So there you go. But with that being said, that leaves us with the main event of the evening. I got a bit of the hiccups. Holy shit. We have Marvin Vittori of Italy against Kevin Holland, right? Marvin, the Italian Dream Vittori against Kevin, the Trailblazer Holland. I'm sorry. And Don McGuire says put money on it since you're a betting man. So you guys are gonna slide into each other's DMs. All my money's.
Hey. Okay, you got it. Next time you're in LA, we'll get some tacos. How about that? But you pay if my guy wins. How about that?
All right. There you go. There it is. I'm too busy in crypto, man. Anyway, but we've got Marvin Vittori against Kevin Holland. Obviously, this was supposed to be a different fight altogether because we were absolutely supposed to have. Oh, God, why did I forget the original bout? The original bout was supposed to be Darren Till. Until Italy versus England. And then, Till breaks his collarbone, and now we've got Trailblazer Holland essentially coming back in the after the last time. Donald Gray says bet. It's out. There you go. Bet. No, but I'm over the experiment. The experiment with Kevin Holland, I am over. He's talking shit while he's losing. And Kevin Holland is a LA guy. He trains out in the 909, the Inland Empire, right? With Team Pinnacle. But he's out there with King Bobby Green and Jamal Emmer and Darion Caldwell, right? But come on, dude. Like, you're losing the fight. Fuck what you're saying. Win the fight. Win the fight. And he didn't do it. And Vettori is a legit, like, he's a legit threat to the title at this particular division. So he gets found out. Kevin Holland gets found out yet again because the Italian Dream is going to go right up all over the Trailblazer.
This main event, I believe, is going to be similar to the previous fight with what was the fella's name? The one that the Trailblazer fought last.
Wait, who's it? Sadiq Youssef and Arnold Allen?
Derek Bronson.
Okay.
Bronson. It's going to be the same thing. I mean, look, we needed to save the main event, so we saved the main event. Marvin took this fight not because this is the fight he wants, right? But because it is what it is. I need to get paid main event money. I need to be seen on ABC, so I'll take this fight. However, I do not see Marvin putting all his eggs in this particular basket. I do not see him investing possible facial damage and all that against Holland. I don't think he's going to risk his position in the company right now against Holland. He is in striking distance to the title, like you said, and I believe that he has got what it takes to get the next title shot within 2 fights, or maybe the next match. He is close. He is close. If he would have fought, what's the other fellow's name that he was supposed to fight?
Darren Till.
Darren Till. If he would have fought and beat Darren Till, he'll be next in line for the title. But because Tills is not, you know what I mean? He's going to reserve a lot of himself and not get damaged that much. So immediately he's going to initiate his wrestling. He's going to try and use ground and pound to defeat Kevin Holland. Now, where Derek Brunson has failed to stop Kevin Holland, he will succeed. Because, yes, it's a short notice fight, but all he has to do is switch over his mental game plan, switch it over. I mean, he's been wrestling for a very long time. He understands how to initiate a wrestling program to the ground and pound. This is very simple. I think this is more simple than striking. This is more simple than putting together striking combinations with your hands and feet.
Yep.
Right? Wrap them up, scoop them up, slam them to the ground, elbows, punches. If he turns his back, take his neck and finish him. If he doesn't, smash his face into oblivion. This is what I see. I see lots of side control, elbows. I see full mount, smash, right? And unfortunately, you will see some guard work. But this fight is going to take place on the mat. And I'm not sure Kevin Holland will be able to make it to the 5th round just because of the ferocity of his opponent, the Italian fella, Italian Dream. I see the Italian Dream finishing this match on the ground in the 4th round.
I like it. I was actually going to say 3rd, to be honest with you. Like 3rd. I mean, Derek Brunson, for all that he was great and this is again how, like, Derek Brunson was a legit title contender 5 yees ago, but a lot has changed in the last 5 years. There might even been sooner than that, but a lot has changed. Vettori is that next generation. He's a part of that that new echelon, that new level. And it's just, man, it would have to be one of Kevin Holland's one of crazy fucking weird ass KOs like he did to Jacare. Like something monumentally would have fucked up if Vittori doesn't walk out the winner.
And to make matters worse for Kevin Holland, Marvin Vittori trains with Rafael Cordero.
Yeah.
Rafael Cordero has been linked to assassins, killers, ninja assassins. He has been linked to the very, very most dangerous individuals ever to step into the octagon or the square circle in Pride, in Vanderless Silva. You know what I mean? It's too many.
Preach.
There's too many.
Preach, Vito. Preach.
There's too many. This man has been among the very, very best tips of spears. And he's been around many of them. Now he's got a new contender in the young Italian Dream, Marvin Vittori. This is gonna be something wonderful. It's gonna be something wonderful. It's gonna be a coming out party for Marvin Vittori.
I agree.
If he doesn't get a flash knockout, it's gonna be a complete dominating fourth round victory for Marvin. He's gonna win in all aspects of the game except striking. If he stands, he's gonna have a problem. So why? I mean, Jet Li said, "Make light your burden." In one of the Chinese movies that I saw, he said, "Make light your burden," and he started doing Tai Chi Chuan, Tai De Ku. You know what I mean? Make light your burden. Vittori, I'm sure his coach is talking to him. We're not gonna waste our striking on this fella, even though it could be a beautiful match. We're not gonna waste our striking on him. We're not gonna waste possible injury on him. We are going to take him down to the ground as soon as possible and smash him. You know what I mean? If the fight ends up being boring, hey, it's his fault. We're gonna blame him. We're gonna blame him for not having the ability to get up. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. He's going to save his body for a major contender, like a Darren Till rematch or someone else in the top 5.
Absolutely. And, I forgot that Vittori's out there with Rafael Cordero. That's Huntington Beach, right? Orange County, California. Holland is in Inland Empire. That's not less than 30 minutes away from each other. I mean, the way that I know that is obviously there's a Pinnacle, Holland gym. They cross-trained with CSW, right? Which is in Orange County as well. So it's not that kind of hard to believe and what have you. So this is a battle of not Los Angeles, really. So this is going to be fun. Got to be fun.
Hey, is Holland from Texas? I think he's from Texas. Travis Luter. He trains with Travis Luter.
I thought he was well, then that's a new thing because I know a friend of the show, Jesse Velasquez, when he was training at Pinnacle, he was out. Like he actually fucking Kevin Holland doing jiu-jitsu. Like it's not. It's if you think it's a gimmick that Kevin Holland is doing, it is not a fucking gimmick. He talks shit like that in jiu-jitsu. That's what he does. That's part of the experience. So that's it. So if he's at Travis Luter, that is probably now. But I mean, I know as of a couple of years ago, he was with Jacob Bainey at Pinnacle, right? And again, Pinnacle has raised former Bellator champion in Darren Caldwell, and OG Bobby Green is there. OG
Bobby Green.
Yeah, so there it is. But speaking of there it is, that is UFC on ABC2. Thank you for joining us here at Voodoo and the Woods. And again, we'll probably, I don't know, maybe we do this Monday because the second night of WrestleMania is Sunday. So that might be.
We can do it on Monday.
Yeah, so we will see you guys on Monday. Don McGuire says, "Peace, my good brothers. Sorry I didn't get to see you all. I was in LA. I'm so sorry." To be fair, I haven't seen anybody outside my house for quite a month, a little over a year now. So, but it is what it is. But if people want to, and I don't know why they wouldn't, wanted to go ahead and follow Voodoomaximus on social media, where did they do such a thing, Voodoomaximus?
Well, that's quite simple. You can look on YouTube, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. Those are my four main platforms that I enjoy posting on. So please come and join me, and let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. And while you're in the fun type of things and the subscribing type of things, we warmly encourage you to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the Voodoo in the Woods page on YouTube and Facebook. And also, hey, this guy has a thing. According to Woods on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So go ahead and like and subscribe to those pages. I'll be glad you did. You'll be glad you did. And we get to support each other. So I'm just saying. But until next time, we will see you later with more Voodoo in the Mall.